The war was over, or maybe it was not. Captain Aaron Cole opened his eyes to darkness. His helmet light blinked weakly, showing pieces of broken metal floating around him. Smoke and silence filled the air. The spaceship had crashed on a dead moon. No sky, no stars, only shadows. His head hurt. His oxygen meter showed red. "Bay, this is Cole," he said, but the radio only made a broken sound. He was alone. Aaron pushed himself up, feeling the ground shake under him. Pieces of alien ships and human ships lay mixed together, burned and twisted. He remembered the last thing before blacking out, the explosion that ended everything. The final battle between humans and the alien race called the Zerans. He looked around, scanning for life. The war had left nothing alive. But then a sound, soft, faint, a cry. At first Aaron thought it was in his head, maybe the lack of oxygen, but it came again. A small weak cry, like a baby. He froze. No human baby could be here. The sound echoed again from deep inside the alien wreckage. His soldier instincts told him to stay away. But his heart said something else. Aaron walked slowly toward the sound, holding his rifle tight. The wreck was glowing with strange blue light from alien energy cells. The walls were full of strange marks and pulsing veins. It felt alive. He heard the cry again, closer this time. "Hello?" he whispered. "Is someone there?" No answer. Only the cry. He moved forward, passing broken cables and dripping fluid. Then his helmet light fell on something small. A tiny hand, dark purple skin, trembling. Aaron stepped closer and gasped. It was a baby. Not human. Its skin glowed faintly like moonlight, and its big golden eyes looked straight at him, scared but curious. The baby made a small sound again, and then clear as day said one word. "Dad?" Aaron froze. His heart skipped a beat. "What did you say?" The baby reached its hands toward him, making the same sound. "Dad?" He took a step back. No, that's not possible. But the scanner on his wrist blinked. It showed something shocking, DNA, 47% human. "How?" Aaron whispered. He looked at the baby again. Its tiny chest moved fast. It was cold and weak. A strange pendant hung around its neck, glowing with human letters. Project Genesis. Aaron remembered hearing that name once. A secret experiment. Rumors about combining human and alien DNA. The army denied it existed. But here it was, and proof crying in front of him. He looked around. The wreck was unstable. The sound of falling metal echoed nearby. The baby started to cry again. Without thinking, Aaron took off his gloves and picked it up. The baby's skin was warm, soft, and almost human. It stopped crying the moment he touched it. For the first time since the war began, Aaron felt something deep in his chest. Not fear, not anger. Something human, okay. "It's all right," he whispered. "I've got you." The baby looked up and smiled. A small, innocent smile that didn't belong in a world of war. Then Aaron's radio came alive. A broken voice. "Captain Cole, report. We found your beacon. Are you alive?" He looked at the baby in his arms, then at the communicator. If he told them the truth, they'd come and take the child. Experiment on it. Kill it, maybe. He turned off the radio. Silence again. Only the baby's slow breathing. Aaron looked toward the dark horizon. Somewhere far away, human rescue ships were searching for survivors. He knew they'd come soon. He had to choose, leave the child and be saved, or protect it and become a traitor. The baby's small hand grabbed his finger, glowing faintly. Aaron made his choice. He wrapped the baby in a piece of his torn jacket, lifted his rifle, and walked into the dark ruins of the alien ship. Behind him, the world burned. Ahead of him, something new and dangerous and waited. The last words in the dark were a whisper from the child. "Dad." Aaron looked down, heart trembling. "Yeah," he said softly. "Dad's here." The shadows closed around them and the journey began. The night on the ruined moon was silent. Only the faint hum of broken alien machines filled the air. Captain Aaron Cole moved through the shadows, holding the small alien baby close to his chest. The child's faint glow lit his armor in soft blue light like a heartbeat in the dark. Every few steps, Aaron stopped and listened. He could hear distant engines, human rescue ships searching the area. He knew what they would do if they found him with the baby. The army had one rule after the war. No alien life survives. He pulled his jacket tighter around the infant. Stay quiet, little one, he whispered. The baby only blinked up at him, calm and trusting. Aaron found an old cave under a ridge, half covered by alien metal. Inside, he set the baby down gently on a pile of soft cloth torn from his suit. He opened his backpack and checked supplies. A few food bars, one oxygen tank, half a battery pack. Not much, he sighed. I've been in worse, he muttered. But he had never been in this kind of trouble. Not with a baby that wasn't even human. As he leaned back, he watched the child carefully. It was strange. The baby's skin shimmered whenever it touched anything electronic. His wrist scanner flickered as if reacting to it. Curious, Aaron held the scanner closer. The readings jumped again. Energy level, unknown. The child giggled, reaching for the glowing screen. Then, with a small flash of light, the scanner turned itself on, even though its battery had been dead. Aaron froze. How did you... The baby laughed, a soft, sweet sound. Then in broken words it said, Dad? Light. Aaron's heart tightened. You did that, didn't you? The child smiled wider, tiny fingers sparking faint blue light. He stared in disbelief. The baby wasn't just half human. It could control energy. Maybe even alien technology. Before he could think more, his radio crackled again. Captain Cole, your signal was detected near the crash zone. Hold your position for extraction. Aaron quickly turned it off. He knew what extraction meant. They'd come for him and anything with him. He looked down at the baby. They can't find you, he said softly. He wrapped the child again and stepped outside the cave. In the distance, through the dust and darkness, he saw lights. Search drones scanning the surface. They were close. Aaron ducked behind a rock, watching as a small squad of human soldiers landed nearby. He could hear them talking through the comms. Command says Cole's beacon went offline here. Maybe he's dead. Check every cave. And if you find alien remains, burn them. Aaron clenched his fists. They weren't rescuers. They were cleaners, sent to destroy evidence. He whispered to the baby, Don't make a sound. As the soldiers moved closer, Aaron felt the ground vibrate. The baby's eyes began to glow again, golden and bright. He could feel energy in the air like static before a storm. No, he whispered, afraid they'd see the light. But the baby looked calm, focused. Suddenly, every search drone around them shut down. Their lights went dark. The soldiers' helmets lost power. Confused voices filled the air. What's happening? Systems offline. Reboot, reboot. Aaron used the chaos to slip away, running across the rocks into the deeper valley. Behind him, the soldiers struggled in darkness, shouting. The baby had silenced all their tech, with just a thought. When they finally stopped, far from danger, Aaron sat down, breathing hard. He looked at the baby, who was smiling proudly. You saved us, he said, amazed. The baby tilted its head, touching his face. Safe, Dad, it said softly. Aaron almost laughed. He had fought aliens for 10 years, now one called him Dad. He opened his helmet visor and looked up at the dark sky. You're not just an alien, he murmured. You're something new. Then he saw something strange on the horizon, an alien signal tower, half broken but still active. A soft green light blinked on it. The baby looked at it too and reached out, whispering, Home. Aaron frowned. Home? Is that where you came from? The child nodded slowly, then touched Aaron's wrist scanner. It displayed strange alien letters, but one word appeared in English. Project Genesis. Aaron's stomach turned. The same name he had seen on the baby's pendant. He realized the truth. This child was not an accident. It was created. He stood up, looking toward the signal tower. Maybe there were answers there. Maybe someone or something was waiting. He held the baby close and whispered, Then let's find your home. Behind them, the soldiers regained power and began tracking movement again. But by the time they found the cave, Captain Aaron Cole was gone, leaving only a message scratched into the rock. Do not follow me. The child is not your enemy. The chase had begun. The broken moon was no longer silent. Human search ships now moved across its surface like hungry wolves. Every few minutes, Captain Aaron Cole could hear their engines, searching, scanning, hunting. He held the alien child close under his jacket as he moved through the canyon. The baby's faint glow was the only light in the dark tunnels. Each heartbeat sounded louder than the footsteps behind him. The child looked up at him, calm, while Aaron's heart raced. We'll be fine, he whispered. I won't let them take you. He had once been one of those soldiers, trained to destroy alien life without mercy. Now he was running from his own people to protect one. The cave opened into a wide valley filled with the ruins of an old alien city. Strange towers leaned sideways, covered in dust and vines. The air shimmered with leftover energy. It was quiet. Too quiet. Aaron climbed into a half-buried structure and found what looked like an old control room. Blue lights flickered weakly on the walls. He set the baby down and checked his scanner. The screen glowed again with alien symbols, the same ones that had appeared before. The child touched the console, and the room suddenly came alive. Lights hummed. Screens turned on. A hologram flickered into view. A female alien face speaking in a soft language Aaron couldn't understand. He stepped back, gun ready. "What is this?" The baby looked at the hologram, then at Aaron. "Mom," it said quietly. Aaron froze. "What did you say?" The hologram pointed toward the stars and new words appeared on the screen. Project Genesis, Phase 3. Aaron read the translation below. "One child will bridge the war. One father will guide him." He stared at the message. "A father? Me?" The baby smiled, reaching toward him. For a moment, Aaron forgot the war. But the peace didn't last. A sound cut through the air, engines approaching. Aaron looked outside and saw the glow of human drones. They were scanning the valley. "Damn it, they're here already." He grabbed the baby and packed his gear. "Hold on, little one. Time to move." He ran through the ruins using the broken towers for cover. The drones followed his heat signature. Bullets hit the stone walls, sparks flying around him. Then something strange happened. The baby's eyes started glowing bright gold. The air around them vibrated. The bullets stopped mid-air, frozen. The drones lost control and fell to the ground like dead birds. Aaron ducked behind a wall, shocked. "You did that again?" The baby smiled faintly, but its glow dimmed, as if it had used too much energy. Aaron held it close. "It's okay. You did great." He looked around. The valley was a death trap. He needed to get off this moon before the military surrounded them. That's when his radio came alive again. A woman's voice spoke, calm but alien. "Human soldier, you have something that belongs to us." Aaron froze. "Who is this?" "I am Commander Sorrell of the Ziran fleet," the voice said. "The child you carry is not yours. Bring him to the signal tower, or we will come for you." Aaron stared at the baby, then at the radio. "Why should I trust you? You started this war," the voice paused. "The war was not meant to end this way. That child is hope. You will understand soon." The signal cut off. Aaron lowered the radio, his thoughts spinning. Both sides, humans and aliens, had wanted the child. And somehow both thought he was important. He looked down at the infant. "What are you, really?" The baby just blinked, small hand reaching for his face. "Dad's safe," it said softly. Aaron smiled weakly. "I'll try." By nightfall, he reached the edge of the valley. Above, the stars looked close enough to touch. He saw the alien signal tower glowing faintly in the distance. The same one from before. It was dangerous to go there, but he had no choice. It might hold answers. He climbed onto an old alien transport vehicle half buried in dust. With a few hits on the console, the machine hummed back to life, powered once again by the baby's touch as it lifted slowly off the ground. Aaron whispered, "Let's find the truth, little one." The ship rose into the dark sky. Behind them, human ships scanned the ruins. Commander Sorrell's fleet appeared far above the moon. Aaron didn't know who to trust or how long he could run. But one thing was certain. Humanity would never see him as a hero again. He was now a traitor, a father and the only human protecting the galaxy's most important child. And somewhere, deep in the stars, both armies were already hunting them. The alien sky was quiet when Captain Aaron Cole landed the small transport ship on a forgotten asteroid base. The machine shuddered and went silent. Only the hum of the baby's soft golden glow filled the air. Aaron stepped out carefully, holding the child close. The base was old, made of strange metal and human steel welded together. The walls were marked with both English and Ziran symbols side by side, a strange mix that made his stomach twist. "This place," he murmured, brushing dust off a door panel. "It's not human. It's not alien either." The baby touched the metal and the door slid open with a low hiss. A stale, cold wind blew past him. Inside was darkness, and history waiting to wake. Aaron followed glowing lines on the floor into what looked like a control chamber. The screens flickered alive as he entered, showing fragments of old video logs. He saw humans in lab coats working beside tall alien scientists. Laughter. Equations. And then, crying babies in glass pods. He felt his heart stop. Project Genesis. A recorded human voice said, "The first step toward unity. A hybrid generation that carries both bloodlines. We will end the war through birth, not death." Aaron's hands shook as he watched. The alien child in his arms looked up at the screens, eyes wide, as if recognizing the images. "Is that you?" Aaron whispered. The baby only blinked, then reached a glowing hand toward one of the screens. It changed, showing a human soldier. Aaron stepped closer. The man on the screen looked familiar. It was him, younger, wearing the same uniform. Standing beside an alien woman with silver eyes. The log began to play. Captain Cole has agreed to provide DNA samples for Phase 2. His genetic stability rate is ideal for hybrid synthesis. Aaron's breath caught. No. He watched as his younger self handed something to the scientists, a small vial of blood. The alien woman smiled and said in perfect English, "Together, we will build peace." Then the recording ended. Aaron stared at his reflection in the dark screen, his pulse racing. The child in his arms, this glowing little life one, was not just a random survivor. He was made from Aaron's DNA. The baby looked up at him and said quietly, "Dad." Aaron fell to his knees, tears stinging his eyes. "You really are mine." For a long moment he couldn't speak. He remembered the orders, the lies, the years of killing, all while the army hid the truth that humans had already tried to make peace once, and then erased it. He clenched his fists. "They used us." "Used me," a soft voice came from behind him. "Now you see." Aaron turned sharply, raising his rifle. Out of the shadows stepped a woman, human, wearing a torn white lab coat with the Genesis symbol on the chest. Her hair was gray, her face tired but kind. "Who are you?" he demanded. "My name is Dr. Yara Lin. I helped create him." She nodded at the baby. "And you, Captain Cole, were part of the Genesis program, even if you didn't know it." Aaron frowned. "You made him with my DNA?" "Yes," she said calmly. "The aliens gave us their blood. You gave us your courage. The result was Elios." "Elios?" Aaron repeated. "That's his name," Yara said softly. "He was meant to be a bridge, proof that humans and Xerans could live as one. But when the generals saw what we made, they called it a threat. They destroyed every child, except him. I hid him in that ship before they found out." Aaron looked at the child, Elios, sleeping peacefully in his arms. "And now they're hunting us both." Dr. Yara nodded sadly. "They will never allow the truth to live. But maybe it's not too late." She handed him a small data core. "Inside this is the full Genesis record. If the world sees it, they'll know what really happened. But you must protect Elios. He's more than just a child. He's a key." "A key to what?" Aaron asked. "To peace," she said. "If he survives, both races can start again. If he dies, war will never end." Before Aaron could respond, an alarm echoed through the base. Red lights flashed. Yara's face turned pale. "They've found us." Aaron grabbed his gear and turned toward the door. "How?" "They were tracking me," she said, voice trembling. "Go, Aaron. Take him and run." "What about you?" She smiled sadly. "I'll hold them off. Go be the father he needs, not the soldier they made you." Aaron wanted to argue, but Elios stirred in his arms, glowing brighter as the walls shook. He nodded once. "Thank you, Doctor." Then he ran, carrying Elios down the metal corridors as explosions rocked the base behind them. When he looked back one last time, Dr. Yara was gone, swallowed by smoke and fire, but her last words echoed in his mind. "He's not the enemy, Aaron, he's the future." Aaron didn't stop running until he saw the stars again. He held Elios close, whispering, "I promise no one will take you from me." Far above them, both human and alien fleets were moving closer. The secret was no longer safe, and the war for Project Genesis had just begun. The night sky above the asteroid was filled with warships. Red trails of fire crossed the stars as human and alien fleets prepared for another battle, all because of one child. Captain Aaron Cole moved quickly through the tunnels beneath the rock, clutching Elios, the glowing hybrid child who slept quietly against his chest. His boots splashed through shallow water as he followed a signal from the data core Dr. Yara had given him. The path led to a hidden bunker, a mix of alien stone and human steel. The doors opened slowly with a creak and warm light spilled out. Inside were people, humans and aliens working together. Aaron froze. He had never seen such a sight. A human soldier shared food with a Xeran medic. Children, both species, but played quietly near the corner. A tall man stepped forward, holding up his hands. "Don't shoot. You must be Captain Cole." Aaron hesitated. "Who are you?" "My name is Rian Voss," the man said. "We run the Free Unity Network. We know about Genesis. Dr. Yara sent you, didn't she?" Aaron nodded slowly, his hand still on his weapon. "She's gone. She died protecting us." Ryan's expression darkened. "Then we owe her everything." He gestured for Aaron to follow. Inside the base, walls were lined with old tech, glowing alien crystals and blueprints of ships that looked half human, half Xeran. It was clear. This was a secret alliance built from the ashes of both sides. "We've been hiding since the governments destroyed Genesis," Ryan explained. "They called us traitors, but we believed in peace." Aaron looked around, still on edge. "If you believe in peace, why are you armed?" Ryan gave a sad smile. "Because peace is never free." Elio stirred in Aaron's arms and opened his golden eyes. The soft glow made everyone stop and stare. The room went silent. A Xeran scientist whispered, "The child. It's real." Ryan's eyes widened. "He's the Genesis hybrid?" Aaron nodded. "His name is Elios. He's all that's left." The people around them looked at the child with awe and fear. Some knelt, whispering prayers in alien tongue. Others stared like they were seeing a ghost. Ryan stepped closer. "You don't understand what you're carrying, Captain. That child could stop the war or restart it forever." Aaron frowned. "I just want to protect him." "Then you need to trust us," Ryan said softly. "Let us help you." Aaron hesitated. His soldier's instincts screamed no. But Elios smiled at the crowd, and for a moment everyone smiled back. Maybe this was the peace Yara talked about. Maybe it was real. Later that night they gathered in the main chamber. Maps flickered on the walls. Ryan stood beside a woman in a cloak, a Xeran ambassador named Kaelra. She looked strong, her silver eyes glowing faintly. "We found something," she said, pointing at the map. "A transmission from the human high command. They plan to erase all evidence of Genesis. That includes you, Captain Cole." Aaron clenched his fists. "So they're still hunting us," Ryan nodded. "We can get you off this moon. There's a ship ready. But first, we need the data core." Aaron looked down at the small device Yara had given him. "Why?" Kelra's voice was calm. "Because it's proof. With it, we can show the universe what really happened, that both sides created Elios together." He hesitated, thinking of Yara's final words. "Protect him." "All right," he said at last, handing the core to Ryan. "But no one hurts the boy." Ryan nodded solemnly. "You have my word." Hours passed. The base went quiet. Aaron finally rested, holding Elios close. The child slept peacefully, glowing like a soft star. But peace never lasts long. A sudden explosion shook the walls. Lights flickered red. People screamed. Aaron grabbed Elios and ran to the control room. But what he saw made his blood run cold. Ryan stood there, talking to human soldiers through a hologram. His face was pale, his voice sharp. "Yes, Commander," he said. "We have the child and the data. Send extraction now." Aaron stepped from the shadows, rage burning in his chest. "You betrayed us." Ryan turned, guilt flashing in his eyes. "I didn't have a choice, Aaron. They threatened to wipe out everyone here. I just wanted to save my people." "You sold out the only chance for peace," Aaron shouted. He raised his rifle, but before he could fire, soldiers stormed the room. Laser fire lit up the air. Aaron ducked behind a console, holding Elios close. The child began to glow again, brighter, hotter, until the metal around them bent from the energy. Ryan shouted, "Stop! You'll kill us all!" But the light exploded outward. The soldiers were thrown back. The holograms shattered. The base trembled like a living heart. When the light faded, Aaron stood in the center of the room, smoke swirling around him, and the soldiers were gone. Elios was breathing hard, exhausted. His little hands trembled. Aaron held him close. "It's okay, son. I've got you." He looked at Ryan, who sat slumped against the wall, bleeding. I never wanted this, Ryan whispered. They'll keep coming. You can't run forever. Aaron stared at him with cold eyes. Then I'll make them stop. He turned and ran toward the hangar. Behind him, alarms blared and flames rose. The only ship left was half broken, but Elios touched it once, and it came alive. As the ship lifted off, Aaron looked back at the burning base. The only people who had tried to help them were now gone, betrayed by fear. He whispered, "We can't trust anyone now. Elios, just you and me." The baby looked at him and said softly, "Together." Aaron nodded. Together. And as the ship disappeared into the stars, a message blinked on the ruined base's last screen. Project Genesis, active. The war had changed. And soon the galaxy would too. The stars were burning. Captain Aaron Cole's ship drifted between wrecked moons, chased by two armies, human and Zarin. Both wanted the same thing. Elios, the child of peace. Aaron sat in the cockpit, his hands shaking. Warning lights flashed red across the console. The ship was dying, and there was nowhere left to run. Outside, dozens of warships glowed in the black sky like hungry beasts. He turned to Elios, who sat in the co-pilot seat, eyes shining like two small suns. "They're closing in," Aaron said quietly. "We can't hide anymore." The child tilted his head, calm and innocent. "Why fight, Dad?" Aaron smiled sadly. "Because sometimes peace needs someone willing to fight for it." Elios reached out and placed a glowing hand on Aaron's chest. "No more pain." Aaron took a deep breath. "I wish it were that simple, kid." The radio crackled. A familiar voice filled the cabin, and cold and sharp. "Captain Cole, this is General Hawk of the human fleet. You are under arrest for treason and collaboration with enemy forces. Surrender the hybrid." Aaron's jaw tightened. "Treason?" he muttered. "After everything I fought for." Before he could reply, another voice came through, soft but full of power. "This is Commander Sorrell of the Zarin Alliance. Human soldier, return the child. He belongs to us, two armies. Two enemies. Both aiming at one small child who wanted no war." Aaron turned off the radio and looked out the window. "They both think they're right," he whispered. "And neither will stop until one side is dead." Elios looked up at him. "Then we stop them," Aaron blinked. "How?" The child's eyes glowed brighter. "Together." Moments later, alarms screamed. Missiles locked on. Lasers flashed across space. Aaron pushed the controls, weaving between debris and broken ships. The ship shook violently. "Hold on!" he shouted. A blast hit the rear engines. Fire spread across the cabin. Aaron grabbed a fire extinguisher, coughing through the smoke. "We're losing power!" Elios climbed from his seat and pressed his glowing palms to the console. The flames vanished instantly. The metal sealed itself like it was alive. The ship hummed again, stronger than before. Aaron stared in disbelief. "You fixed it?" The child smiled. "Elios fix everything." Aaron laughed softly despite the chaos. "Good. Then let's give them a fight they'll never forget." He turned the ship toward the middle of the battlefield, between both fleets. The space around them filled with light and explosions. General Hawk's voice thundered through the comms again. "Cole, what are you doing?" Aaron pressed the transmission button. His voice was calm, steady. "Ending this." "You want the child? You'll have to kill me first." Then he opened another frequency, connecting both sides. "Listen to me, and all of you. I've seen what this war really is. Lies, fear, and now this child, and he's proof we were meant to be one. He carries both of us. Kill him, and you kill every chance for peace." There was silence. Then a human commander shouted, "Fire anyway!" Missiles streaked toward Aaron's ship. At the same moment, Zarin cannons charged, both sides ready to destroy everything. Aaron closed his eyes and whispered to Elios, "Whatever happens, I'm proud of you." The child placed his tiny hand on Aaron's heart. "Don't be afraid, Dad." Light filled the ship, brighter than any star. The energy poured from Elios's body, wrapping the entire ship in a golden wave. When the missiles hit, they stopped, frozen in mid-space. The laser beams bent, curving away harmlessly. Every ship's weapon system shut down. Soldiers stared in disbelief as their screens went dark. And then they saw him. The child appeared outside the ship, surrounded by pure light floating in the void. His small voice echoed through every channel in every language. No more war. The light grew stronger. It spread like a storm, reaching both fleets, wrapping every soldier in warmth and silence. Weapons melted into dust. Engines turned off. For the first time in years, the galaxy went quiet. Inside the cockpit, Aaron watched with tears in his eyes. You're doing it, Helios. You're saving them. But as the light grew, he realized something was wrong and the boy's body was fading. No. Stop, Aaron shouted. You'll burn yourself out. Helios turned, smiling softly. It's okay, Dad. This is what I was made for. The light pulsed once more, spreading across the star, and then faded. Aaron's ship drifted silently through the calm void. The warships on both sides floated powerless, engines dead. There was no sound, no gunfire, only peace. He rushed to the back of the cabin, finding Helios lying still, the glow fading from his skin. Aaron held him close, tears falling on the boy's small hand. Stay with me, please. The child opened his eyes one last time and whispered, Did we win? Aaron choked out the words, Yeah, we won. Helios smiled faintly, then closed his eyes as a soft golden shimmer rose from his body and disappeared into the stars. Aaron held him tight. Silent. The radio crackled again. This time no threats, no orders. Just quiet voices saying the same thing across both fleets. Cease fire. Cease fire. The war is over. Aaron looked out the window at the silent ships, then at the empty seat beside him. Goodbye, son. He whispered. You did what none of us could. The stars glowed brighter, as if bowing to the light of a child who had changed everything. The war was over. But peace always begins with silence. And in that silence, Captain Aaron Cole sat alone, floating among the stars. His ship drifted quietly through the ruins of the battlefield. Wrecked ships, like human and alien, now rested side by side, no longer enemies, only reminders. The stars above glowed softer, touched by a faint golden shimmer that lingered from Helios's final light. Aaron looked out through the cracked glass of the cockpit. You did it, kid, he whispered. You really did it. There was no answer, only the quiet hum of a ship running on memories. He touched the small pendant still glowing faintly in his hand. Project Genesis. It was the only thing left of Helios, the child who had united two worlds with his last breath. Weeks passed. The fleets that had once chased each other now floated together, exchanging messages instead of missiles. Soldiers who had sworn to kill sat across tables trying to understand what had just happened. Helios's light had shut down every weapon across the war zone. For a moment, no one could fight. And when power returned, no one wanted to. Aaron's ship was found by a recovery team weeks later. They brought him to the peace station, a neutral space platform where both sides gathered for the first time without fear. When he stepped off the ship, everyone stared. The man who once was called traitor was now the only person both armies wanted to hear from. He walked into the council hall, half filled with humans, half with Zirans. In the center hung a banner with two hands reaching toward each other, one human, one alien. General Hawk was there too, his face older, his uniform torn. He looked at Aaron and said quietly, You should have died out there. Aaron met his eyes. I did. The room fell silent as Aaron stood before them. His voice was calm but heavy with emotion. You called me a traitor for protecting him, he said. But that child, Helios, was more human than any of us. He didn't care about war or blood. He just wanted peace. And in the end, he gave everything for it. He held up the glowing pendant. This was Project Genesis, a plan to create unity, not destruction. You killed it once out of fear. Don't kill it again out of pride. No one spoke for a long time. The generals looked down. The alien commanders closed their eyes. And then slowly one of the Zirans stood up, Commander Sorel. She bowed her head and said softly, The boy's light touched us all. We cannot undo what we've done, but we can start again. The humans followed. One by one they rose from their seats. Then, for the first time in history, both sides spoke the same words together. We choose peace. Years passed. The Genesis Treaty was signed. The first human-alien agreement built not on power but understanding. The old fleets were dismantled. The ruins of the war became new colonies where both species lived together. At the heart of the capital stood a monument, a tall white spire that glowed softly at night. Inside it was a small crystal containing the last fragment of Elios's energy. Children, both human and Xeran, would visit it every year and place their hands on the glass, feeling the warmth. They would whisper his name, Elios, the child of light, and somewhere in the crowd, an old man with tired eyes would stand quietly watching. Aaron Cole, no longer captain, no longer soldier, just a man who once heard a cry in the dark. He visited the monument every month. He would sit beneath it for hours, staring at the soft golden glow, remembering the small voice that had once called him Dad. One evening, as the sun of the new world set behind silver towers, Aaron sat alone by the monument. The air was calm, filled with laughter from children playing nearby, children of both races, together free. He smiled faintly. "You see, kid?" he whispered. "They did it. You won." A gentle breeze moved through the air. For a moment the glow inside the monument flickered brighter and he could almost hear it. A small, familiar voice whispering back, "Thank you, Dad." Aaron closed his eyes, letting a tear fall. The sky above turned gold as the first stars appeared, shining like tiny sparks of Elios's light scattered across the universe. He stood up slowly, placed his hand on the monument and said softly, "Rest easy, son. The dawn is here." Then he walked away, the last soldier of the old world, while behind him, the monument of light burned gently, eternal and pure, and thus, from one soldier's mercy and one child's love, the galaxy found its new beginning, a beginning born not from weapons or orders, but from a single simple word spoken in the dark, Dad.